So in the virtual machine I have set up, this is like a brand new install of Windows. And over here we have the generative design in Minecraft competition wiki. So this is the wiki URL up here. Let me just copy that and paste it into the chat for you so you can follow along if you want to. So there's lots of resources here and content, and like you can look at past competitions and their results and all sorts of cool stuff. But what we are really concerned with is the submission methods part of the web page right now. So over here you can see that there are multiple ways to submit. I have never even looked at script and schematic, so I don't recommend that one. So there's MC Edit over here, and this gives you the instructions to install MC Edit, and it is super annoying. I did not want to do that. So what we're going to do today, and what I recommend to you, is using the HTTP server method of setting it up. So of course, when you go to set it up, here are all the instructions. In the getting started section, it says go over here and follow the install instructions. So that's what we're going to do. Okie doke. So this brings you to this GitHub page where the HTTP interface code is actually hosted. Okay. So here are where the actual install instructions are. And if I can just reload this page, it'll bring me back to that anchor point. So let's just read through the instructions and we'll go through it. So over here, I have a folder in which I have already downloaded the files. So first, let me say that you will need to have Python, like a modern version of Python 3. Whatever. I think this is 3.9 is like the most recent version. So you need to install Python, you need to install Minecraft, and you need to install Java. Okay, so get a modern version of the Java runtime environment. I'm using 8.281 or whatever. I've already installed Java and I've already installed Python because you're fourth year computer science students, you should have those installed anyway. Now, here is the only annoying part. Well, here is one of the main annoying parts of the Minecraft project, is that if you choose to do the Minecraft project, you have to have bought a retail version of Minecraft, okay? Which is currently $35 Canadian. So you just have to do that. When you, so you have to sign up for an account, you have to pay for Minecraft, and please do not pirate Minecraft for this project. So since we had no textbooks in this course, consider buying Minecraft your textbook, okay? And if that money is really, really an issue for you and you absolutely cannot whatsoever pay for it, I highly recommend using the StarCraft project because it's going to be free. Okay, so here are the files which I've already downloaded. And let's go through the instructions over here. So it says you need to own a copy of Minecraft Java version and have it installed on your machine. Get the Ford mod launcher, so download recommended installer and install it. Client install, but server should work too. The latest version I tested is blah, 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 but newer versions should work just fine. So let's just have a look at what this is going to do. So I've already installed Minecraft, so we're just going to launch Minecraft here. And I have not installed the Forge mod yet, okay? So if you look, this is the launcher for Minecraft. It's currently maximized, but the window, you can resize it to whatever you want. So let's just resize that a little bit smaller. And you can see here that the Minecraft launcher is updated to the latest release of Minecraft. And if I click on this, nothing happens. So just keep in mind that this right here states this is the current version of Minecraft that I'm about to launch, because that may change in upcoming minutes. So let's close that now. So Minecraft is no longer running. So it says, go to the Ford mod launcher. So we're just going to open that in a new tab and install it. So there's two options here. There's download latest and download recommended. Okay. What I did is I just did what they said and I downloaded recommended. So what this does is it downloads this jar file. So of course, I think most of you should be familiar with Java and how jars work. And so, oh, and by the way, these instructions work for both Linux and Windows, and I assume Mac. I just don't have a Mac to test it on, but I have tested it in Windows and Linux, and they both work perfectly well. and you're running Java code and Python code, so it works in any operating system. Okay, so once you've downloaded that file, you've saved it somewhere, and now you have this jar here, which is forge, whatever version, installer.jar. So if you set up Java properly, you should be able to just double-click this from the command line. So it asks what you want to do with this file. It says run it with the Java platform SE binary. So we'll just do that, and we'll say always use that. So you can see this is a true new install of Windows. And here we are with the mod system installer. So one note here is that the Minecraft files, no matter where you install the actual Minecraft the launcher, the files are always stored in this app data folder. It's like a hidden folder where a bunch of Windows programs put data, and it's really annoying, but just use that. Whatever it comes up with as the default install directory, just use that, okay? So we're going to click install, and that is going to install itself. I don't know why it's asking me to take a screenshot. Maybe this is using some weird graphics thing. All right. So it's installing using the jar. Almost done. Okay, successfully installed client profile forge for version whatever, downloaded 47 libraries, whatever. It's installed. That's the important thing, right? So now we can exit out of this tab. And what we're going to do before we open the Minecraft launcher, well, actually, let's just do that since it's in the instructions, right? So we'll open up Minecraft, and now we can see where before we just had latest release, now we have two options. One is Forge, one is latest release. So what this means is whichever one you click, so if I click latest release and I play, I'm just playing Minecraft, okay? So the HTTP server, Forge mod, none of that will be loaded. If I click Forge, then that loads the Forge mod into Minecraft, and so we will be able to use the HTTP server Forge mod. So make sure that this is clicked whenever you're running Minecraft for the project. So we just saw that install worked. All right, now you want to open your mod folder. To do this, open the Forge installation you have just installed and click the mods button and open the open mods button. You can just skip this step by navigating to appdata.minecraft/mods. So let's do that way instead. So here we go. I'm just going to go to my address bar and type in appdata, okay, with 2 % signs around it, and hit enter. That'll take me to my appdata folder. Now, if you can't see this .minecraft folder, it's because it's a hidden folder. So if you can't see it, just go over to View, then Options, then View, and here it says Hidden Files and Folders. For example, by default, it says Don't Show Hidden Files and Folders. So that folder may be hidden. I'm not 100% sure. It might not be a hidden folder, but it's always a good idea to have Show Hidden Files and Folders on if you're any sort of enthusiast user. And also something I recommend is unclick. So by default, this is clicked. Unclick Hide Extensions for Known File Types. So what that means is if you have something like a text file, it won't show .txt at the end of your files. If you have a jar file, it won't show .jar. So unclick that. We always want to know what the extensions are for our files. So now we have to go into Minecraft, and it said go into your mods folder. But you can see here that there is no mods folder. So I'm just going to right click, make new folder, call it mods. All right. So now that we have that folder created, it says download the jar that you need to put into that folder from here. So we open up this link, we go over here, and we download GDMC HTTP-0.31, whatever the version is, .jar. So I've downloaded that already over here. I have that file. So I'm just going to take that file, Control-C, go over here to the mods folder, Control-V, and now I've put the jar file into that folder. Do not run that jar, just put it there in the folder. And that's it. That's the setup. Crazy. So easy. All right, so we'll just close this folder because we don't need that anymore, and then we'll run Minecraft again. Okay, so now we're running Minecraft, and we're gonna make sure that Forge is selected over here, and because we put that jar in the mods folder, Forge is automatically going to do it. Now this, for the first time you run this, it's going to say you're running a version of Minecraft that's been modified. Don't, like safety is not guaranteed, etc. Stay under 88 miles per hour. We understand all that, right? We're computer scientists. We want to mod the game. So now we click play. So the first time you click play, it's probably going to download a bunch of files here. I've already done that because it takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes depending on your connection speed, and this is already inside a virtual machine. So I've already done that. So if yours takes longer to launch the first time, that's why. So now, don't show this again. Thank you, NVIDIA or Windows or whatever's happening. If it's the first time that you load Forge Mod, it's going to be a little bit slow like this. And Forge Mod just takes longer to load than the normal Minecraft anyway. So if it's a little bit slower, that's okay. We'll deal with it. So here we go, loading up Minecraft. Perfect. Okay. Now, when I ran that on my native computer, not on the virtual machine, there was like some debug output printing, kind of like when you start up a Linux machine and you see the post instructions or whatever. So if you see that, that's not an error. I just think that mine had a white screen because it's in a virtual machine or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to resize this. So if this runs a bit slow, again, apologies, it's in a virtual machine. Okay. So now we're going to click on mods, and we can see that the HTTP interface mod is there. If you do not see that, then you somehow screwed up the 4 instructions that were given to you. So you can just click done. Now we're going to click single player, and we're actually going to run some code and see how this works. So we're going to go create new world. Now, so to create a new world in Minecraft, you just go through this menu. By default, the game mode is on survival and cheats are off. We don't care about actually playing the actual version of the game, so I highly recommend that you start your game mode in creative mode, okay? You don't have to. You can run it in survival or hardcore or whatever, but there's no reason not to turn cheats on because we want to be able to teleport around. We want to be able to set blocks or debug stuff, right? So you can call this whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it on the default. Let's leave it on creative where we can fly around, and I'm going to click create new world. So this is going to make all those bricks for us. And yours will probably load a little bit faster than this. Again, virtual machine while running OBS, while running Minecraft. That's not too bad, actually. Probably about half the speed of my normal computer. This is asking if I want to allow access. Yes. So do not block that with your firewall. Okay. So something that's a little bit annoying about Minecraft is what just happened. If I tab out of Minecraft, it's going to pause the game. All right. I'm actually going to show you this now because it will absolutely make your life 100 times better when you're actually doing the project. So we're going to completely quit out of Minecraft. We're going to save the world, quit out completely. We're going to go back here. We're going to go back to app data. We're going to go into our Minecraft folder. And now there is an options.txt file. We're going to do Control F, and we're going to do pause. And right here, it says pause on lost focus. True. Okay? So pause on lost focus, it means that whenever we tab out of Minecraft, the game is going to pause. We don't want that to happen, so we're going to change that to false. Okay? Someone said there might be a command in-game. I didn't know about that command, so I'm just going to show you the way that I know that it works. So I'm going to open up options again to make sure that that was changed. Now it's not finding it. What the hell? Hit pause. What? What did I just do? Focus. Did I just delete the option? All right. So I don't know what just happened. I hope I didn't break things, because that would really suck. But I changed that option, and now we're going to launch the game again. Someone is telling me I can't control Z because I closed the file. So let's see. So here is, it's loading again. Yeah, I should have made a copy first. There's a, you know, we're doing it live because you may do this stuff while you're doing your stuff, right? You may make mistakes as well, so I want to make them with you. Hopefully I didn't delete a bunch of options that are actually important. So let's use the other example that someone just told me in the chat. So we're resizing this. It's taking a little minute here to resize. Still resizing. This did not take anywhere near this long. Okay, here we go. Single player, we're going to go back to the new world that we just created. And then we'll see if it still pauses when I exit. Yeah, done. That was a feature, not a bug. Joining world. All right. So we're back in our world. It takes a while when I load up because of virtual machine. And I actually want to resize. Okay. So here we are in our world. When you're in creative mode, you can hit space twice to fly around. If I tab out, it is not paused. Okay, so that worked. I don't know where the option went, but it worked. Someone else said, let's try F3 and then P. Only available in multiplayer worlds. Okay, so I don't know what that did, so don't do that way. Do it the way that I did. All right, so when you're in creative mode, you can fly around, you can move up, you can move down. Okay, so hitting F3 is the debug view, which is going to be very important. So here I can see where I am in the world by looking at the debug view. So over on the right-hand side of the screen, just above me, okay, over here, you're going to see targeted block 127, 65, 175. So Minecraft uses these voxels or blocks, so however you want to call them. And every block in the world is going to have a coordinate in three-dimensional space, okay? So right now, I'm sort of walking on the ground. If I walk around, so my position, where is my position? Yeah, so over on the left-hand side over there, okay, you see XYZ colon. That is my actual floating point coordinate in the space, all right? And as you can see, when I'm moving around in creative mode, I'm not moving up or down. So I'm moving around in this plane, and that plane is the XZ plane. So maybe sometimes in some games you're used to like XY being the plane you're walking on and Z being the up axis. But in Minecraft, right now, for example, if I walk forward, I'm walking in the X direction. You can see the X changing over there. My Z is changing a little bit, but that's because I'm not facing perfectly straight. If I move back and forth, if I strafe back and forth, I'm moving in the Z direction. And if I hold space to move up, I'm moving in the Y direction. If I hold shift to move down, I'm going down in the Y direction. So that's how the coordinate system works. So your position as a player in Minecraft is at this like floating point level. However, blocks are positioned at an integer level. So you can see here that if I'm standing above this block, if that block over on the right is 119, 65, 171, you would think that our position might be, let's say, the same X and Z coordinate, but it's up a little bit, right? So indeed, if we look over on the left-hand side, the XYZ of the player is 119.5, 66.1, 171.471. So no, I'm not exactly at the same coordinate, but I'm pretty close, and I'm moved up by one block. So that's how the coordinate system works. Now, of course, If you've never played Minecraft before, in creative mode, you can hit the left mouse button to destroy blocks. And then I actually don't know how to place blocks in creative mode. Can someone out there tell me how to do that? Because they don't appear like they do in survival. I'll do that a little bit later, but we're not super concerned with E. Okay, let's see. E. Here we go. So in creative mode, let's say I want to place some stone blocks. Here we go. I can hold shift and put them there. Okay. So if I hold shift, here's some wood, here's some stone. Then I hit escape. And now what I can do with the right mouse button is I can right click to place these blocks. Okay. So that's Minecraft in a nutshell, without going into any of the speedrun strategies or monsters or anything like that, okay? So we're not talking about the combat in the game. I'm sure you can all figure that out. There you go. There is my like side of a house that I created in Minecraft. Okay, if I hit double space again, then I am now walking on the ground and I can like jump up here, etc. So that's blocks and how to get them. If one thing that's important is if I hit E, and I look here, the names of these stones is important, okay? So let's just have a look right here at the debug menu again. So F3, over on the right-hand side, you can see targeted block 122, 66, 166. Underneath that line, you see Minecraft : stone. So Minecraft : stone, that is the type of block that is at that targeted block location. If I place some wood here, so if I go over one in the Z direction, 122, 66, 167, this is a Minecraft stripped spruce log. Okay, those strings are going to be important, and I'll show you why in a minute. If I look at the block right here, that is going to be Minecraft grass block, and then Minecraft dirt. And if I go down to the water, this is going to be water. Oh, sorry, it doesn't target air and it doesn't target water blocks, but there are water blocks, there are etc., other types of blocks. So let's just have a look at this last example that I did, which was this targeted block. So if I tab out and I go to the Firefox that I had open, I told you that there is an HTTP server running in the background because of ForgeMod. And if you look at the instructions, which are on this page, it tells you how to get and set different data. So, how to read a block. Let me increase the font size here. So the instructions for the wiki are going to tell you how to interact with the HTTP server in order to get and set blocks to do your construction. Well, look at this. If you send a GET request via HTTP, so the HTTP server is running at localhost 9000, port 9000, and then you give the blocks command, and then you put in some arguments. So if we look back over, we are looking in the game at 122, 66, 166, and that is a Minecraft stone block. So let's just open a new tab here. We'll go to localhost 9000 blocks question mark x equals 122 and y equals 66 and z equals 166. And you can see here that it returned the string Minecraft stone. Okay? Now, if I put in 167, we get the Minecraft stripped spruce log, right? Because that was one over from it. And if I put in 168, then we're going to get Minecraft air because there was actually nothing to the right of that block. So that's literally it. If you want to figure out what blocks are placed in the world, then that's how you do it, right? You can query individual blocks. Now, there's one more way to get blocks is if we go down here and get some chunk data. So let me just copy this one. A chunk in Minecraft is a specific area. right? So you can say get between this XYZ value and this XYZ value. So that rectangular prism of data is called a chunk, and there's lots of data contained in that. So if I go over here and use the sample command for the chunk data, this is what I get back from Minecraft. Okay? It's in this sort of proprietary but unencrypted format that you're going to somehow have to decrypt and put into like whatever format you're going to use to read. So the sample Python code that they give you parses this for you. All right? You don't have to do anything with that. You don't have to try and figure it out. It parses it for you. If you want to go and use C++ for this project, you can. And there is actually a library out there that will read this and put it into a specific format. Okay? I had a question. Can you get block data, like which direction some stairs are facing, for example? You can, and actually, this web server, I believe the programmer of this told me, if you put in commands with a put request, you can send any Minecraft command, and you will get the string back that command gives you. Okay, so you can ask which way things are facing, etc., like a whole bunch of different commands. And that, of course, will also be detailed in the chunk data. So, but you don't have to worry about this chunk data because the sample code will do that for you. So you can see here that this is literally just like vanilla 1.16 current version of Minecraft, and you've got a web server acting as a socket that you can pass commands back and forth to. It's way easier, in my opinion, than any MC Edit nonsense ever was. No, but MC Edit is great. It's a great program, but I think that this is way easier. Okay, so let's actually pull up the sample code, and or should we run the sample code first? Let's run the sample code first. Let's have a look at it. Okay. Oh no, it's nighttime. Does anyone know how I turn it not night anymore? All right, what we're going to do is we're going to save and quit, and we're going to create a new world. Oh yeah, bed. Actually, I want to create a new world anyway. So create new world. We're going to go to creative, loud sheets, create new world. Okay, so awesome. Lots of people out there super familiar with Minecraft, and I'm probably going to create a channel in the Discord specifically for Minecraft and specifically for StarCraft so people can chat about that kind of stuff. All right, here I am in a new world, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to teleport to X location 0, Z location 0, so I'm at sort of the 0, 0 coordinate of the world, but I'm going to teleport to a high Y location to make sure that I don't appear in the ground. So 0, 100, 0, I'm going to teleport there. Oh no, I'm on top of water. Actually, this isn't a terrible... Yeah, this is pretty terrible. Okay, so I'm going to have to do my speedrun strats here and teleport back out and make a new world and get one that doesn't have a bunch of water at the starting location. So here we go. Let's create one more. I'm only going to do this 2 or 3 times, but it's pretty fun because you're going to deal with this stuff as well. Here we are making a new world. Dash TP 0, 100, 0. Okay, this is annoying. Got water again. One more try. One more try. There's not always water at 0, 0, I swear. Single player. Create new world. Super flat world might help. Okay, I'll have a look at that later. But I don't want a super flat world. I want to show you like sort of what's happening. If this doesn't work, I'll just go with it so we can get on with the lecture. Because this lecture is going to go way long. Here we go. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So I'm at around 0, 0, and I'm flying around. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to run cmd to get up a command prompt. And I am going to go back to the instructions for a minute because they show you where to get the sample code. Alrighty. So over back at this HTTP interface GitHub, you can just download this. It has a bunch of sample code in it. Oh, sorry, that's not it. 1 second. Go back to the instructions, Dave, and do it as they said. GDC example mod, no. Oh, here's where I want, okay. Go over here and follow the instructions, download the jar file from here. There's somewhere that says click here for the example code. This Python script. So you can click here. Yeah, GDMC HTTP client Python. That's the one that you want. So you can just click, you can download zip, you can git checkout, just get this code however you want. I have downloaded it already and I have put it into my folder on the desktop. So I've got the zip file here and I'm just going to say extract here. So that's the code that I downloaded, the HTTP client. And now you can see here a bunch of Python files. So I'm going to copy that address as text, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to cd to that location by pasting it. So what I can do is if I type Python and then example.py, now I'm going to have to be a little bit quick with this because it's going to modify things in real time. So let me tab over, and what the sample code does is whenever you run your agent, the Minecraft competition gives you a specific area of the world in locations that says start at this XYZ location, and here is the XZ area that you have to work in, and you have to place stuff within that area. That is the area we want you to work with for the competition. So by default in the script, that area is at 0, 0, and it's 128 long in the X direction and 128 wide in the Z direction. What the script is going to do is it's going to build a fence at the ground level around that area, and then it's going to build a bunch of random houses in that area. So let's hit the script. Okay, so I have not set up Python correctly because there's some things that we need to install first. So let me first, properties, we're going to make this a little bit bigger, so we'll turn up the font for you. Here we go. So I have to install a couple of the libraries. If I go dir, if you go back to the folder, my mouse cursor is bugging out because of this. Hang on. If you go back to the folder, there's a requirements.txt. Okay, so there's all these requirements. You can use that to install using pip. What I'm going to do is manually do the commands. So yeah, there's the example code has an example where it uses OpenCV, but OpenCV is not required for the project. So we go pip install OpenCV _ Python. That will install OpenCV. So that's what that's doing. We are installing OpenCV. So by installing OpenCV, you're also installing NumPy. I highly recommend never using never using Python arrays for anything or Python lists. Okay, so I have not upgraded pip, so let's do that. Python-m pip install --upgrade pip. So yeah, someone in the chat just said you can install all the requirements by typing pip install -r requirements.txt. I just wanted to go through and install them manually just to show you sort of like how pip works if you're not. So matplotlib is another one that it requires. Pip install matplotlib. That's another one. It's going to use that for some graphing stuff if you want to draw stuff to the screen. Again, not required, but they use it. Okay, and another one is pip install NBT. NBT is the package which decodes the Minecraft chunk data. All right, so now I'm going to run the example code by typing python example.py and then tabbing back over to Minecraft and seeing what happens. Again, this is a live demo. What happened? Oops, okay. Requests. So yeah, maybe just install it using the requirements.txt. Pip install requests. This is the library that is used to get and to make the HTTP requests. All right, let's see if I've installed them all now. Python example.py, tab back over. There we go. Okay, so it's drawing 128 by 128 fence, and it's also now building a bunch of random buildings within that area. Here we go. Oh, there it is. So you can see that 128 by 128 is actually pretty big. And so it has this little algorithm that just draws, it places like a floor, floor, ceiling, roof, some walls. And if I go into one of these houses, I can just break into it like this and go in, right? Oh, that the roof is pretty solid, so I'm going to go down. There's like nothing in this house, right? I think so. Yeah, not really anything in this house. There's some like blocks from the world, but that's about it. So that's what the example code does. It's still building. So on my virtual machine, it's kind of slow because this has to go through like, it's in a virtual machine, it's running an HTTP server, it's doing all that. And so it's setting all of those blocks. So we'll run through, that's it. Like the whole project was set up in a very, very short amount of time. Installing Minecraft is probably the hardest part of all this, or maybe installing Java. All right. So that's what it did. And now we're going to have a look at the code real quick. Okay, now I'm going to exit and I'm going to go into here and I'm going to switch out of my virtual machine where I am looking now at my real machine, which has this code loaded. So here is example.py. Example.py has, it imports some things that they wrote here. So there's like interface utils, map utils, visualize map, world loader, etc. I'm not going to go into all of this, but essentially the first thing it does is it requests the build area from Minecraft. So when you're actually in the competition, what they will do is they will load Minecraft, a specific seed, they will set a build area, and then you will call get request build area, and then the area is going to be set to whatever they have. Of course, if you haven't set a build area, like you're not in the actual competition, if it's set to -1, this is just going to be 0, 0, 0, okay? Or 0, 0 ground level. Then it's going to get a chunk of the world. So it's going to request the chunk based on that area that it's set up. And what we can do here is we can actually, we can calculate a height map and visualize that height map. So the height map is good because what that does is it's a 2D array of integers which tells you the ground level at a particular XZ location. So the height map is X by Z and the value is an integer which is the height or the Y value of the ground level. All right. So what we have here is we just have some sample code. This is a fence. So you can see here that we go around the range and we set block to cobblestone, we set block to oak fence. So wherever we want to build a particular block, we literally just say set block oak fence, set block cobblestone, set block air, set block water, whatever. Super, super simple. The way that they build a house is they have like this area that they want the house to fill up. And they just go through like X equal range and they make a floor, they make a clean interior, they make a roof. Super, super simple stuff. Then what they do is they have a for loop which builds however many random houses, and they just have some code in here to make sure that the houses don't overlap. And then what they do is they send all the blocks to the Minecraft server. All right. So how do we set blocks? How do we get blocks? Super simple. We just use the HTTP get and the HTTP put. So whenever we want to set a block, we're using a put with this URL. Whenever we get a block, we're using a get with that URL, okay? So it's just a simple thing that's done with this requests package. Also, like you can send blocks. They have this method of sending blocks in a big buffer, so it's a little bit faster rather than placing all your blocks one by one. So I highly recommend you to look into that. It's a super simple API. You can visualize the map in different ways. That's not super important in terms of this lecture, so I'll leave it there. And you can have a look at this Python code. And essentially what I want you to do is make your own Python file, like a blank Python file somewhere in this directory that's like student.py, and you're going to use that to draw comp 4303 in Minecraft blocks, okay? So over here, for example, if I go back in, what I want you to do programmatically, not cheat like this, because you're going to submit your code to, is you're going to have some stone, and I want you to draw something like this, which is like, let's say, oops, I'm not drawing. So like CS, I'm terrible at this, CS, right? You get what I'm saying. So that's what I want you to do for the assignment, is not terribly draw CS4303. So here we go. So there's a CS. You can imagine what 4303 looks like, right? Okie doke. So we've set up the Minecraft. You are good to go for assignment 4. Let's save and exit. Quick game. Minecraft, donezo.